did on the day of the death scene. I just laughed.
What was the...
Sorry?
What was the name of the one?
Hostel 2. Hostel 1, it was very, very popular in that genre.
What year did it come out?
The original, I want to say in early 2000s, 90s, late 90s maybe. And then the second one came out in 2006 or 7, something like that.
If you didn't play Carl on Desperate Housewives, who would you play? Like if you had to choose your role other than Carl.
I'm glad I played that one, but I originally read for the plumber. And there was another show that I was on that was being produced. And I knew that show wanted me, and the Desperate Housewives show, they kind of liked the other guy, I thought, which was fine. He was perfect for that, and he had a contract at ABC that he still had to fulfill. So, and I saw the executive producer and the director fighting, and I thought, this is nuts. I don't want to be a part of this right now. So I went and I did this other show, and that lasted a year. And then when that canceled, they invited me to come and read for Carl. No, I had to audition. And it was so much fun. I could just really play. Whereas the plumber wasn't all that fun.
Does it ever feel weird seeing yourself on TV?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like all of you maybe. I pick on myself. I'm sometimes not that kind to myself. I think I could have done it better. Or, I compare myself. So it's kind of weird, but I've worked through that a lot where I don't take it as serious, That's a good question.
With so many TV channels and cable channels,
theoretically, yeah, it's a funny thing, but with that possibility is the increase of the talent pool. So I go on auditions, and I'm up against guys from Canada, United States, New Zealand, South Africa, England, Australia, and then it's just so much more opened up. Yeah, competition. But yeah, there's a lot of possibility for work. A lot more pools to pull from.
Does YouTube come into play or anything? Like, would you recommend YouTube, like a YouTube video as a way to get
Yeah, oh yeah, no, there's a lot of people that have created their own content on YouTube or on various other, whatever they're called. I'm really a bit of a spaz when it comes to that world. So, if any of you are budding filmmakers, and if that's fun for you, make films. And then get it out there, and just keep doing it. So it's something that takes time to nurture. But yeah, there's many roads that lead to Rome, as they say. But the most important one is really finding something that you feel passionate about.
For TV, you shoot like out of order and like random scenes. Is it kind of hard to get into the character because it's disjointed like that?
That's a great question, because a lot of times you're going to do an emotional scene in the morning, and kind of by the end of the day, your body might be more open to it, or you might have a different point of view, and because then you played this scene in the afternoon a different way that comes before the morning scene. So yeah, you really have to have a synergy of work. The director has to really have a vision, and the writer might have some input, as well as the actor, to try and pay it forward. That's a good question. Really now.
Do you continue your own education? Like, do you go to workshops as an actor? Like, how do you keep it?
Yeah, I was just thinking, that's a good question. I don't think it ends. And I think anything you can do, whether it's learning another language, putting yourself into another work environment. I was taking an improv class up in Los Angeles. So whether you're here or in LA or any part of the country, there's a lot of classes, whether it's at schools or privately to take, if it's improv or scene study or Shakespearean workshops. Continuing education is really important. I'm constantly reading and doing stuff and assimilating more information for my craft. Yeah.
You have a question?
Yeah, everybody has their sort of idols. For some people it's Tom Hanks, others it's Marilyn Monroe. When you set out to, when you aspired to be an actor, did you have any vocational goal? I want to be like this person.
No, that's a great question. Most of my idols were sports figures when I was younger. There was a TV show called The Wild Wild West as a kid that was on. They're injured, they would come out of, when I got older, there was a couple of actors that I really admired because of their courage, the chances that they took to put themselves on the line, to make themselves look silly, or really just dive right into a character where they're lost in something that potentially could make them look foolish. So I really admire people who are willing to take that risk.
So like for example, like when Anthony Hopkins was doing that scene in Silence of the Lambs where he's talking to police and all this niggas like thing. Is that one of the things that you're talking about?
That's a subtle version of it. And for me that wasn't a really big risk. But it was nice. It was great character work. It was a really creepy, interesting choice. And I like anything, if it's a genre of creepy, be as creepy as you can be. If it's funny, open yourself up to the craziest possibilities. I love physical comedy. And I'm, in an improv class, you will fail. I worked with Jim Carrey on a movie. And I was, in several scenes with him, and I noticed over and over, because he had a lot of latitude, what latitude means, he had a lot of freedom, a lot of breath, because he was a star of the movie, to explore. So he was probably at an 80% failure, 90% failure rate. So he would try something, he would try something else, and then all of a sudden, everybody's just, gutturally laughing. And it's the willingness to fail and fail and fail. Any profession, inventors will tell you this. The greatest successes of business will tell you this. It's the ability to endure failure will propel you into success.
If you had to change one thing about Desperate Housewives, what would it have been?
We could have shot more scenes by the ocean. Gosh, I don't know if I could have changed one thing about that show, about Desperate Housewives, what would it be? Oh, well, the guy who created it. People's egos are very fragile. And the man who started it had people, there's a hierarchical system. There's the guy who creates it, and then there's people that sort of run the show, producers, writers, then the director, and then the actors. And what I would have really wanted to change was his approach, which was to micromanage everything after the second season. The first and second season pretty much created the template, created the tone. And he wanted then to change it, manage everything, and it from this fun, free environment, it kept getting more and more boxed in, and eventually everybody, was sort of doing the job, but it just wasn't as fun. So
Guys,
that would be it.
let's give a nice hand. If you would like a picture and autograph, feel free to do it right now.
Yeah. When you guys played lacrosse today?
Yeah.